Hello everyone, I am Ashley Carlisle, the Education Coordinator for the Native American Fish and Wildlife Society, and welcome to the 2020 National Virtual SYP Challenges. And we are entering our fourth and our last week of our challenges this week. And again, thank you all for participating. And also, we opened up the challenges to all Native youth from ages 13 to 23. So I hope you all are able to participate to win some great prizes. So for this video, we are going to go through the last week of our challenges, and then we're going to get some encouraging words from some of our NAFWS members, as well as some members from the Intertribal Agriculture Council. So let's get to the fourth week challenges. Okay, so our week 4 challenges is going to be from July 27th to August 1st. And then the last day to complete the challenges is 10 p.m. on August 1st. So challenges include watch a video of the NAFWS 2020 National Virtual SYP closing, which is this video. So you have one challenge completed. And then the last challenge is to submit a paragraph, which would be about 4 to 6 sentences about what you have learned from these past 4 challenge weeks, including this week, and what was your favorite activity. And then you can submit this paragraph through telephone, you could text it to me, you could email it to me, and also another way you can submit is through sending a message through our social media accounts. So you can send a message through Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And the prizes for completing this week 4 challenge is an NFWS t-shirt. Also, we have a grand prize for students who have accomplished all of the challenges and activities from week 1 through week 4. So this includes week 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the prize for that is a $75 gift card to one of the locations listed below. And I will be contacting the students who qualify for the grand prize and having them choose the location to have their gift card. And also, when the challenges are completed, I'll be contacting you all for your addresses, and hopefully I'll be able to get your prizes to you by the end of August or the beginning of September. And now I am going to invite some NAFWS and IEC members to give some words of encouragement and give their input on Native youth involvement in community, education, natural resources, and also ag. So here they are.
My name is Mitzi Reed. I'm one of the Southeast Regional Directors for the Native American Fish Wildlife Society. I also serve as the Director for Choctaw Wildlife and Parks and the Tribal Biologist for the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians. The other day I was posed with the question, how important is the youth to the outdoors? And it set me back a little bit because to me it was a common sense answer. However, the hiccup was, how do I put that into words? So what I could come up with is the youth revitalizes us in a sense. I know from experience that sometimes we get set in our ways as tribal leaders. We get set in our ways. We don't necessarily want to see outside the box. But when you incorporate youth into some of our projects, I've noticed that there's a revitalization, not just in the projects, but in all the people involved in the project as well. So I have a knack of looking outside the box and coming up with some very innovative projects, solutions to some of our issues. And not only that, they remind us that it's okay to have fun sometime. Now, I started this career because I love being outdoors. I loved animals. Those were my main purposes for being in this career. But sometimes when you're stuck inside that box, you forget to look around you and appreciate what you have. And when you're working with those youth and providing an opportunity for them to work with you, you start looking at things another way. We are turning over what we have been working for, our legacies, to our youth, and involving them now gets them set in doing things later. It allows them to have a say in it as they go. And these are learnings that stay with not only them, but with us as well. I want to say, Incorporating youth in our projects not only gives nature life, it gives us life as well. So kids, if you're out there and you want to go in the outdoors, wildlife conservation, natural resource conservation, whatever it may be, put your all in it, have fun doing it, and don't be afraid to get dirty. Have a good day, y'all.
Natural resources have been central to the cultures and economies of Indian tribes for millennium, providing foods, medicines, and materials to sustain our lifeways. Tribes work to protect wildlife, advance land stewardship, safeguard water resources, provide environmental education, and combat climate change. Native youth carry with them the hopes, vision, prayers of our ancestors. Native youth are the future leaders of tomorrow.
My name is Sean Cross. I'm a fish and wildlife biologist with the Native American Fish and Wildlife Society. I'm part Pondere and Kootenai from Flathead Indian Reservation in western Montana. And I want to talk today about the importance of Native youth in natural resources. Native youth are so very important to the future of natural resources, not only in Indian country, but across all of our ancestral homelands. Native people know that natural resources is more than just a phrase for us. It is part of who we are. Even though each tribe is a little different, that is one of the beliefs we have in common. Most non-native people in North America don't understand our connection to the world around us. A lot of people have a lack of respect for Grandmother Earth, even some of our own relatives back home on the reservation. I just had a conversation recently about with some folks in a fishing group that don't believe in catch and release, for example. A lot of people got on my case. I need to turn them loose and save the big ones for later. But I told them, hey, if I don't need to eat the fish, I don't go fishing. I leave them alone. There's no reason for me to go out and stress them out purely for the sport of it. I like eating them. My family likes eating them. That's why we fish. So we keep what our family needs, no more, no less. Well, sometimes less. Another big one is, and I don't know how many of you think of this, but my love of wilderness areas, and I mean true designated wilderness areas, is another one that a lot of non-native people, even some of my own fellow tribal folks back home, don't understand. And even with wilderness advocates that are like crazy, love wilderness, which is great. They don't understand why we're so deeply connected to those places. Think about it. A wilderness area is the last untouched or unaltered remnant of our ancestors' neighborhoods. We all know they're buried everywhere. And that a wilderness area, you can go visit that, and that's a true connection to where they lived and what they had, and the kind of places they raised their families in, and we can go there and share that with them. You should always keep that in mind. It's that connection is integral to natural resource management for Native people and Native youth. It's not just a career choice; it's who we are, and there's nobody else going to defend it for us or make a explanation for it for us. There's more and more pressure on the landscape. We all know that. Our relatives' ability to hunt or gather, go fishing, even spend time outdoors, period, is going to get much more difficult. The the ecosystem itself is a little bit under attack, and we need leaders in conservation, not only in Indian country but across all of the country in conservation. So if you go to school, make some friends. Be open, explain your case of why you believe what you believe. That it's more than just extraction to take things. It's a intimate relationship that we've been given from our ancestors. So don't be intimidated to express your cultural beliefs that in conjunction with natural resource management. Even your own people sometimes, I have tribal folks back home that we're a million miles apart on our belief of the landscape. I feel bad for them, but it's who they are, and that's just who they are. It's more than just treaty rights that we're talking about. We're talking about our tribes and who we are, where we came from, why we're here now. We must always stand up for Grandmother Earth and show her the respect she deserves. She's taken care of our ancestors for thousands of years, thousands. And she will always need our support, our respect, and so do our relatives, even if they don't always act the way they should. But even more so, explaining our beliefs to the general public will just never cease. Explaining why we hunt, fish, and gather will never cease. The reasons of digging bitterroot in the springtime, even though we don't need it anymore really to survive, but it's just part of who we are. Or sweetgrass, for example. That's a gathering activity, and a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of non-natives really don't understand it. No one's gonna explain it for us. It's gonna have to be you guys, because it's a lot of time moves forward, and I look forward to hopefully getting to meet some of you. See your careers take off, do some neat things for your people, for yourselves, your families, and take care. I hope you're all safe, and limch.
Johnson Reyes, Intertribal Agriculture Council's Technical Assistance Program Lead and Pacific Region Technical Assistance Specialist, member of the Osage Nation. Native youth involvement in natural resources, education, and the community is critical to providing youth the opportunity to connect with the land, with their community, with their culture. It's a wonderful way to build leadership skills, to learn about natural systems, and to ultimately connect in with where our food comes from and how we sustained ourselves for thousands and thousands of years. So it's really critical, and it's a wonderful pathway for youth to explore, to gain applicable skills in many fields.
Katherine Menthorne. I'm the Technical Assistant Specialist for Intertribal Agriculture Council, working with the tribes of Oregon and Idaho. I'm an enrolled member of the Confederated Tribes of Umatilla Indian Reservation, located near Pendleton, Oregon. On my reservation, back when economic development started, there were some real driving forces back then. My dad's brother being one of them. He was the assistant planner for the planning department for the tribe. And Dave Tubby was another. He was straight out of college and came back home to the reservation. And together they did some tremendous work here on the Umatilla Indian Reservation. And it's come a long ways in the past, especially the past 30 years. And I asked my uncle one day, I said, do you ever stop and think about who's going to take it over when you guys are done? I said, look at these young people. They're not interested in agriculture. They're not interested in natural resources. The closest we could get kids to being involved back then was in the fisheries, and they were all excited about, and they liked it, being outside, getting to work with habitat recovery, different things like that. But there's little to no interest in agriculture like here on my reservation, and out here in the same areas that I work in Oregon and Idaho. There's very little seems to be desire to even work in the field of agriculture, and maybe some in natural resources. But what I told those guys back then is, you're making this huge empire, and there's nobody to take it over. Is it going to die? This is what I talked to our tribal council about. Any of the programs that I get to work with within the tribes in Oregon and Idaho, is that we have got to get some younger people involved to take over these empires, to take over these tribes that have built themselves up to what they are, especially these big land-based tribes out here. You know, they've got some like Umatilla here. We're farming over 10,000 acres here, and we don't have anybody to take over with that. So I would really like to see some spark of interest somewhere to get these younger people involved and put that desire in them to to be able to manage this land.
My name is Michael Schallenberger. I live in Topnish, Washington, right in the heart of the Yakima Indian Reservation. I was born and raised here. I'm a USDA Technical Assistant Specialist for the Intertribal Agricultural Council in Washington State. I've been in this position for 9.5 years, and one of my main obligations and love of mine is working with the youth. Worked with many youth on 4-H projects concerning livestock, and I believe that the youth is the future in agriculture. And I mean, not only are the future, it's just going to happen, you know, because of the ages of all the older farmers and ranchers. I believe that the youth are very important in preserving and getting their voice out and getting educated in preserving the natural resources that are on their reservations. We have two very large reservations right here in eastern Washington, the Yakima Reservation and the Colville Reservation, and both of them are about 1.4 million acres and forested lands and agricultural lands, and it's very important that those things are preserved for the future. I'm hoping and that a lot of these kids that I'm working with will pursue college education in these types of areas so that they can bring that back to their reservation and help get involved in the process of working with particular agencies and the community and doing the best job that they can, helping the resources that they have on their reservation. I believe that the youth can actually lead by example and help bring in other interest on the reservations, you know, other community interest to help preserve these resources and utilize them in a very environmentally safe way. So anyway, that's my little spiel on the kids. And like I said, I feel very fortunate that I've had the opportunity to work with many of them. And a lot of them, most of them, all of them have been really fantastic to work with. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your words of encouragement and also your input and perspectives about Native youth involvement in these different aspects. And I think that it's really important that we all learn how to take a step back to understand and learn how these different aspects of natural resources, agriculture, community, and education all interact and impact each other. And I think that if we look at all this in a holistic point of view, then we're able to pinpoint different gap areas to find solutions and to be able to help one another. And I really hope that you all were able to enjoy the challenges and that you had fun and that you also learned more about yourselves and about natural resources and about the society. And I really do think that Native youth involvement is really important and crucial now because of the different movements that are happening throughout the United States and throughout the world. And I really think that Indigenous people's voices and communities of color's voices are being heard now. And also on an individual level, being involved, you get to develop new skills, you get to learn how to network with people, you know how to engage in productive dialogue, you know how to use your voice and your mind for positive social change, and you also can be able to apply these to provide solutions and change that Indian country needs and that our world needs. And again, you also learn more about the problem solutions that Indian country faces and also problem solutions that other communities face or are facing. And I think that when you learn more about your community and about other communities, you can be able to help educate your family and friends and teachers and colleagues and just people of the public. And being involved also allows you to develop as a mentor and role model for people younger than you. And you also give hope to our leaders now because they know that you can carry on their good work and that you will bring new ideas and new solutions to the table and be able to protect Mother Earth. And with that, I hope that you all continue to be involved and challenge yourselves to be even more involved and to be strong and be productive and be resilient, and let's continue to build our future. And I hope that you all can continue to follow NAFWS and the IAC on our Facebook pages and social media pages and know of the different youth opportunities that we have for you all. I hope that you all stay safe and stay strong, and hope to see you around. Keep in touch.